Thank you for joining this Microsoft Ignite session on how to improve security operations with Azure Sentinel, your cloud-native SIEM. I'm Sarah Fender, Product Manager for Azure Sentinel.
And I'm Imran Muhyiddin, a Product Manager for Data Center Cybersecurity team.
Today, we're going to start with a look at the trends that are driving significant transformation in security operations and how Azure Sentinel is helping organizations adopt a more modern and a more efficient approach. Then Imran is going to share insights and learnings from Microsoft Data Center SOC, the challenges they face, and how they're using Azure Sentinel to help address them. And we'll wrap up with a look at recent real-world attack, what we can learn from that attack, and how Azure Sentinel can help organizations protect themselves. Digital transformation is impacting virtually all aspects of how businesses operate, and security is certainly no exception. In fact, the effects of an extended digital estate are creating new challenges for security operations, which are not effectively met by legacy SIEM solutions. The world has changed. Systems are moving to the cloud at an unprecedented pace. Remote work is the new norm, and everything is connected, making IoT and OT critical considerations for security operations. This is driving up the volume of security data, much of which is now being generated in the cloud, creating bottlenecks and performance impact for on-premises systems. As data volumes increase, so do the costs of licensing and operating these SIEM solutions. Meanwhile, outmoded licensing models remain the norm. And finally, with more systems to monitor and more data to analyze, security operations teams are inundated with alerts, leading to inefficiencies and worse, unaddressed threats. As a result, many organizations are now moving their security operations systems to the cloud. As IDG notes, to take advantage of scale and maintenance benefits. Azure Sentinel is an intelligent cloud-native SIEM that delivers all of the benefits of a cloud solution and more. It enables you to collect, store, and analyze all your security data with cloud scale and economics. It supports all of your cloud workloads, your remote workforce, your IoT and OT scenarios, as well as all your other security data. It scales automatically as data volume and compute needs grow, whether that's incremental growth or a periodic burst during an incident. No infrastructure costs or upfront commitments are required. You only pay for what you use. There's no infrastructure to set up and maintain, so you get the agility to add data as you need it. It also delivers built-in threat hunting and analytics capabilities to help you detect real threats. Powerful analytics are essential to detecting advanced and unknown threats, and Azure Sentinel offers a range of built-in capabilities, including correlation rules, statistical and behavioral analysis, and machine learning models. These are developed by Microsoft security experts and also contributed by a growing community on our GitHub. We're continuously innovating as new threats emerge. Sentinel also enables you to leverage AI and automation, which we believe are the force multipliers to increase the efficiency of your SOC. Sentinel helps you by fusing alerts into actionable, prioritized incidents to reduce that alert fatigue and help you focus on the most critical incidents. It also enables you to use automation to do things like triage incidents, so you can collect additional information that can be used to auto-remediate and close some of those incidents, while elevating the priority for other critical incidents that do require immediate attention. And you can use automation to gather evidence and insights so that your analysts can investigate these threats more quickly. Now let's take a look at all of this works together. In Azure Sentinel, you can see that security data is already flowing in. In fact, more than 800 million events in the last 24 hours. Data connectors make it super easy to integrate all of your enterprise security data. Now, of course, there are connectors for Azure and Microsoft 365, and these can be enabled in just a few clicks. There are also connectors for other clouds, such as AWS. Connectors for standard security log formats like syslog and Ceph. And for a growing list of security products such as Barracuda, Citrix, and Zscaler. You can connect all your data without ever having to worry about scaling your infrastructure. Now, once that data is flowing in, Azure Sentinel uses analytics, including machine learning, to detect those real threats from the sea of data. As I mentioned earlier, these detections are developed by Microsoft security analysts and informed by years of protecting our own services at massive scale. Azure Sentinel goes even further by fusing those detections into incidents. From millions of events, we now see just a handful of prioritized incidents. Only cloud has the power to do this. In the past, it would have taken a security analyst weeks to find some of these, and other threats may have gone unnoticed. Now here you see a high severity incident composed of alerts from different sources. Let's investigate. Our first indication of an attack is this malicious network alert in the graph. Now by clicking on that alert, you can see that Azure Sentinel has analyzed Zscaler network logs. And it looks like a bad actor is attacking this server from a malicious IP address. That's the 179 IP address in the center of the graph. These types of attacks are pretty common, and frankly, this might have gone ignored in isolation. However, Azure Sentinel uses analytics to correlate signals, and it's found a second related alert. By clicking that alert, you learn that a user, Mike, has logged in from that same malicious IP. Now, the combination of these two alerts is concerning, and we can learn more by clicking on Mike in the graph to drill down into Mike's logins, office activities, and more. But we're going to start by looking for other related alerts. And sure enough, here you see that the attack has spread. This alert reveals that Microsoft 365 Defender detected Mike running suspicious PowerShell code on another machine. By stitching alerts and events together, Azure Sentinel can save you a ton of time. Now that you have visibility into the attack, you can start to remediate. First, let's quickly protect the network with automation built into Azure Sentinel. A playbook can be used to orchestrate a series of steps. In this case, blocking the IP address directly in Zscaler and in Microsoft 365 Defender, then sending an email to the network administrator notifying them of the change. The attack has been disrupted and the incident can be closed. You can now move on to the next prioritized incident in the queue. Now that was a very quick introduction to Azure Sentinel. There's so much more to show you. But I want to focus on some of the latest innovations being announced this week, including new analytics, intelligence, and data collection capabilities. Now, very important is the launch of user and entity behavioral analytics, powered by Microsoft's proven UEBA platform. This helps to identify anomalies and extract behavioral insights for threat hunting and detection. And it's designed to address use cases related to insider threat and data exfiltration, helping to identify rogue or disgruntled employees who might start collecting sensitive information and exfiltrate it outside of the organization. Or compromised users. So an attacker might have been able to gain access to a user account and then begin to perform activities on the attack kill chain that aren't in the normal set of behaviors for that user. Now, it works by building a comprehensive profile of the user across time and peer groups, helping to identify which devices the user logs into, which applications, from which locations, and what is the volume and the frequency of these various activities. By building a profile of the user and understanding the baseline for what's normal, we can also understand what's not normal. Now, these behavioral insights are aggregated with other data sources to provide a new unified host and user profile. And as I mentioned, we're continuously adding and enhancing the built-in ML models and detections. And at Ignite, we're announcing dozens of new scenarios that fuse together lower fidelity alerts and events into a few prioritized incidents. We're also extending support for ML by migrating our Jupyter Notebooks integration to operate on top of the Azure ML service. And today, customers can easily connect their threat intelligence feeds via direct integration with threat intelligence platforms and via Taxi. This week, we're adding the ability to easily search, view, and tag those indicators for more easy tracking, as well as the ability to add new indicators directly from Sentinel. We're also announcing integration with threat intelligence from Threat Quotient, Recorded Future, and Risk IQ. And new capabilities are launching that will enable you to create watch lists for threat hunting and detection. These can be lists of things like restricted IP addresses, trusted systems, critical assets, risky users, and more. And finally, to simplify the process of collecting and analyzing all of this data at scale, Azure Sentinel is announcing a network schema based on industry standards and continuing to deliver new connectors, in this case for Microsoft Teams, Microsoft 365 Defender endpoint raw data, as well as third-party security services like CyberArk, NetScaler, and others. Let's take a look at some of those new capabilities in action. We'll start with the new entity behavioral analytics. Onboarding is super easy and can be done in just a few clicks. Learning begins, and you can see the results in the entity behavior analytics dashboard. Here you can see a list of top users to investigate based on the number of incidents, and alerts, and anomalies. We're going to start by looking at the user Jeff. You can see that 3 anomalies have been identified: anomalous geolocation login, anomalous account creation, and anomalous role assignment. All of these are mapped to the relevant MITRE tactics and techniques, and even sub-techniques if applicable. And we provide a detailed description on each anomaly, how it's used in the wild. Now, clicking on that first anomaly, the anomalous geolocation login, you see that it's mapped to an initial access tactic, and you can even click on the link to go directly to MITRE to learn more. Scrolling through, you see a column called User Insights, which contains all of the information our engine profiled about the user. You can see that the username is Jeff Leatherman, information about his AAD object ID, its on-premises SID, and the blast radius. Now, this will tell you what the potential impact Jeff may have on his organization. Scrolling a bit further, you can see that this was an AD sign-in activity originating from China via a Tor browser. And it got an investigation priority score of 9, meaning that it highly deviates from the user profile. Clicking on evidence will shed some more light, and here you can see that this is the first time Jeff has connected from China. You can see that this is an uncommon, it's uncommon to log in from China for his peers. And in fact, this is the first time anyone in that tenant has done so. In addition, usage of the Tor browser, which is used for anonymous communication, has never been used by Jeff, his peers, or in the tenant. Now I'm going to take note of that IP address where the login originated from. And I'm going to continue my research in the new threat intelligence blade. I start by searching for this IP address to see if I'm already tracking this threat indicator, but no results are returned. So I can add the indicator here for future tracking. I can add a tag to indicate a relationship to Jeff. I can set the confidence level. In this case, I'm going to put it pretty low because I haven't yet confirmed that this IP address is malicious, although I suspect it is. Now that the indicator is added, it will automatically be used by my threat hunting queries and detections. The alert count will update if there are new detections from this IP address, so I can see whether this indicator is linked to activity in my org. Now back to the suspect user. What if Jeff was a senior engineer with access to highly sensitive plans about a top secret project? Would that influence the priority or the importance of investigating anomalous behavior related to his account? Could be very, very important. And the new watch list capability helps us to leverage those kinds of business insights. So you can create a new watch list for users like Jeff who have access to highly sensitive information. You can specify a name and an alias. In this case, we'll set confidential access. You can upload a CSV containing a list of users, verify the data on the right, and finally save the list. Now you can include this watch list in your hunting queries and analytics rules and more. Let's take a look at how that's done in a hunting query. In the hunting blade, I can choose from hundreds of built-in queries. Now I've gone ahead and pre-filtered that list to include queries that use the new anomalies and behavioral insights. Now, if I click on one of those, you see the query and the results. Now we're going to ignore the results for now because what I want to do is modify the query to look for only anomalies for users on my confidential access watch list. So I'm going to simply add a join to that table that will match the user field in my watch list with the user principal name in the behavioral analytics table. When I run the new query, 2 results are found, including that user I've been investigating, Jeff. I can bookmark the result for future tracking. I can add the bookmark to an existing security incident or open a new one. But before I do that, I want to check one other place so that I get a complete view of this user, Jeff. And I can do that by simply clicking on his name in the list of entities for this bookmark. Now this is going to open a new entity profile page. Profiles are available today for users and hosts, and we'll be adding more supported entities in the future. And the entity profile pulls together pieces of information about this user from multiple data sources, and it puts them all together in one place for me. On the left-hand side, you can see information on Jeff from Azure Active Directory, including identity and contact info. In the middle, you see a list of all of the alerts, activities, and events that are related to Jeff. On the right-hand side, they're what we call insights. These provide key information about Jeff and his activities at a glance. Now, for a deep dive on the new behavior analytics and threat intelligence capabilities, I encourage you to check out the related sessions. We'll include a list of those at the end of the presentation. Now, with that, I want to hand it over to Imran to talk a little bit more about the Microsoft Data Center security operations.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's change the gears now. I'm going to talk about how we at Microsoft are now leveraging Azure Sentinel to secure our data centers. Before I do that, let me set some context. Microsoft Cloud is global in nature. We serve 1 billion customers and more than 20 million businesses. Microsoft runs on trust, so we take security and compliance very seriously, and we have made heavy investments in this space. Finally, data centers, the building blocks of cloud, are nothing but industrial facilities. They are comprised of electrical power monitoring systems, building management systems, and HVACs. We as Microsoft have been building data centers for a while, 31 years now, and we are on the 8th generation of the design. Let me give you a logical view of how we use Azure Sentinel in our stack. The very first layer is about data collections. As I mentioned earlier, data center is an industrial facility, a complex environment having IT, OT, and now IoT devices. We collect data from various sources, and we rely on CyberX, Azure Defender IoT, to collect ICS telemetry and security insights. We also collect information from servers, domain controllers, VMs, Microsoft managed secure devices performing production operations, and physical security systems doing biometrics and badge reading. We collect this data from these disparate sources and correlate in Azure Sentinel. We apply advanced detections and alerts, and also apply OT plus IT playbooks. And this is all integrated with our incident response process and central SOC. And we have implemented a feedback loop back into Sentinel to refine our alerts and detections. This also empowers various personas across multiple teams to access data and playbooks in an effective manner. Let me talk about a few benefits of leveraging Azure Sentinel. In combination of CyberX, Azure Defender IoT, and Azure Sentinel, we have now access to improve critical environment inventory. We know what PLCs and DCS systems are talking to what HMIs. How are they laid out in network? Using this information, we can do risk-based analysis and threat hunting. Also, we correlate incidents across the data center stack from multiple sources to understand behaviors like who walked into the data center, what sensitive areas did they access, what information did they download it, what devices did they use to make production operations, what operations did they perform, what changes did they make in the OT systems. All this information is correlated leveraging Azure Sentinel. Then we perform advanced detections, and we have already implemented leveraging our threat intel expanded with OT threat intel information for malware detections, botnets, and command and control traffic. Sarah touched on UEBA capabilities that recently was launched by Azure Sentinel. We are now leveraging that in our world to kind of understand data center operator behaviors and profiling them. Our world is very unique because we have multiple networks and environments. Data center users, they straddle between corporate networks and ICS networks. With UEBA capabilities, we can now profile the users across their journeys and understand their anomalous behavior. We have also implemented OT plus IT response playbooks and have integrated with our SOCs, leveraging Azure Sentinel. Finally, we leverage Azure Sentinel to find needles in the haystack to reduce the alert fatigue and reduce the noise.
Thanks, Imran. The recent Triton attack highlights the challenges and the importance of protecting these complex and critical OT environments. In this case, the attack targeted a petrochemical facility. It started with a compromised workstation within the corporate or the IT network, and it moved to the OT network via remote access to an engineering workstation. From there, it began reprogramming the safety sensors to disable their protections and to launch a secondary cyber attack to disrupt operations. Now, there are a number of challenges to detecting and responding to threats like Triton. First is access to all of the data from across both the IT and OT environments. Collecting this data at scale is critical to being able to connect the dots between attacks that span both environments. Many security analysts and the tools they rely on are not experts in OT systems. And that's critical to being able to understand how to apply the OT kill chain to threat detection and response. And finally, as is the case with IT environments, security analysts are challenged with identifying and prioritizing real threats. Imran shared a bit earlier about how Azure Sentinel helps to address some of these challenges, but let's see that in practice by sort of replaying what that would look like for the Triton attack. In Azure Sentinel, we see a high priority incident generated by Azure Defender for IoT. Imran mentioned CyberX earlier, and you may have heard that we recently acquired them. This speaks to the level of investment that we have and the belief in the insights and signals and analytics that we can derive from OT environments and how critical they are to securing enterprises. Let's start investigating. The alert indicates that programming changes were carried out on a device that wasn't authorized to make those changes. You can see that the alert is connected to the safety PLC device and an engineering workstation, and we can click on these entities to learn more. If you click on the safety PLC, you can see the exact details about the sensor, including its device, type, model, protocols, and more. You can learn more about what else was happening on that engineering workstation, the one that was used to do the reprogramming, by simply expanding to see related alerts. This reveals much more about the sequence of events. Immediately before the unauthorized programming, an address scan occurred, and this is likely the attacker looking for devices to program. And immediately before that, unauthorized remote access to the engineering workstation. This access came from Joe's PC, a computer within the corporate or the IT network. And we've now just traced back the Triton attack, which started in the IT network and expanded to the OT network. You can use all of the tools that I showed earlier, including behavioral analytics, to determine if this was an insider threat or perhaps the result of a compromised user or machine. All of the data, both IT and OT, resides in Azure Sentinel for easy access by security analysts. Now, you can also leverage this understanding of IoT and OT to streamline investigation and to triage using automated workflows. Azure Logic App playbooks are available to address common triage and enrichment scenarios. These can be triggered automatically when an incident is created, or in the sequence of steps we just walked through, it can also be launched by an analyst from the investigation experience. So let's take a look at an example playbook. This particular workflow begins by looking to see if the engineering workstation is on a special list of authorized devices. Now, as we saw earlier, this can now also be achieved by using a watch list. If the answer is yes, you can automatically close the incident. You may want to check, though, if the programming happened during business hours. If so, you may want to ask the next question, which is to determine if the machine was accessed by a remote connection. And if so, was that remote access done from an authorized PC? If any of these conditions are not met, the incident can be enriched with the new information, stakeholders can be notified, and the severity of the incident can be raised to prioritize response. Not only does Azure Sentinel have all of the visibility needed to identify attacks like Triton through integration with Azure Defender for IoT and insights from CyberX, it uses analytics and automation to empower analysts to respond quickly before damage can be done. It's very easy to get started with Azure Sentinel. You can simply sign up for the Azure trial, create an instance of Azure Sentinel, and start connecting your data sources. Now, I mentioned earlier a set of other sessions related to Azure Sentinel, and you can see the list here. Again, there are a couple that I wanted to highlight. One around behavioral analytics that Itai and Ben are doing. There's another great one on threat intelligence that Jason Westcott will be leading. So I encourage you to check those out if you want more details on those specific new capabilities. Thank you so much for watching today.
Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the talk.
Cheers.
Cheers.